Hey, Ben here, and today I want to share with you the only 3 ways that you are going to grow your business. And there is only 3 ways in which you are going to grow your business. So here we go. Reason 1, get more customers. Sounds pretty simple, right? But we know that the main way in which most people are set to get more to get more business is to increase the amount of customers that they bring to them. And in a lot of cases, this is the main strategy, but it's not always the most effective strategy. Depending on what you're selling, by always focusing on the new client, which obviously we need to do because we always need to acquire new business, it can be quite costly depending on the tactics which you employ. But a lot of the time people overlook the other 2 ways in which you grow your business, and that is increasing your order value. So when somebody does buy, they buy more of that thing. For example, let's say widgets. If we're focusing all of our attention on bringing in new customers and we're spending money to acquire those customers, we want to be making sure that we get as much revenue out of that customer as possible. So if they're buying a black widget, for example, and these widgets run out every 3 months, then why not, when they're trying to buy that widget, do we say, hey, buy 3 for the price of 2? You know, now this might sound crazy because it's like, well, I'll just get 3 new customers and sell them 3 new widgets. But you've got to take into account the amount of money it costs you to acquire that customer. So if you can just acquire the customer once, and depending on the margins that are on your product, and you'd need to work this out, but if you can sell them 3 at the same time, even if you have to give them a slight discount, you're increasing that average order value. And that's a really important metric. And the other way to do it is by, and this is reason number 3, is increasing your order frequency. So if a customer buys something from you, how can you encourage them to buy more often? So now with widgets, we'd have to get creative on that. So if you're wanting them to buy more often, you've got to think of a legitimate reason to do that. Is there an upgrade to that widget, and they can then upgrade to a different version, you know? But each of these stages require different marketing tactics to get to that customer. You need to make sure you've got certain things in place. So attracting new clients, you know, we're going to want to make sure that our marketing is on point. You might be utilizing paid social or paid ads. You might be doing a lot of content and pushing it out. You might be doing a lot of engaging. There might be direct sales, whatever it is. You know, what other things can we add into the mix to drive more initial sales? Now, when you've got the person there, let's imagine that we've got a website. What systems do you have in place that when somebody tries to check something out, that we then try and upgrade them? We try and add something else in. You know, for example, if you sell electronics, are you trying to upsell the batteries that go in them? You know, you've sold a camera, hey, you need this lens protector, you need this battery, you know, add 3 to your cart. Look at what Amazon do. You know, the reason they do it, they upsell. Look at McDonald's, there's a reason. Do you want to go large? You know, it's like 30p, you know, and you go, well, 30p to get all that extra, that's crazy, but they've already got you. So for them to give you this extra stuff for 30p, that's where they're making their money. It's the little upsells. So make sure that you audit your site. Have a look at the checkout process of a customer. At what point are you trying to increase their order value and get them to spend more money with you? And I'm not talking about being you know, about extorting your customers and selling them stuff they don't need. You know, what useful things that go with that? If someone's buying a camera, for example, you know, they're probably going to want a case unless they're replacing a camera. You know, they don't know that they've just bought this expensive lens, but actually here's this £20 filter that we can put on the end that actually protects the lens, you know, so you're protecting your asset. Oh, that makes sense, I'll buy that. You know, what things like that, you know, a lot of the time if you're using Shopify and things like that, there's upgrade apps that you can just, you know, you can just add that app into your store and with like 5-10 minutes, you set it up on what's cross-selling. A lot of them are intelligent, so that they will automatically add the products that are bought together most frequently. So it learns, and then it will basically help you upsell your customers for you without you having to do much with it. So make sure you're not leaving money on the table with that. With getting customers to buy more frequently, to get repeat orders, to get people coming back, you know, what kind of lead nurture process are you using? You know, do you have an email list? Do you even use it? Or do you just rely on people remembering and coming back, or thinking, I need this, and then coming back? Because people are fickle, and especially if you're selling, let's stick with consumer electronics, as we're already talking about cameras, you know, if they then suddenly start learning and saying, okay, for example, I want a new Canon battery grip. They're just going to go and look for the Canon battery grip. They're not going to automatically think, I'll come back to your website and buy that. So you want to make sure that you're constantly engaging with them. So email nurture works really well for this, you know, and there's tools, there's email nurture platforms like things like Klaviyo that I personally love, that makes this so easy, that you can have when somebody buys something from you, they go through a nurture process and it's done automatically. You can also customize the flows, which is which way people go. So say someone buys a Canon camera from you and someone buys a Nikon camera from you. They can go into your email list, but based on what they bought, the flow will customize and send them in different directions. It might give them an introduction through their Canon camera and explain the different accessories they could buy. And you could tailor that for the Nikon camera as well. And along the way, you're adding value. Here's how to get the perfect zoom set, or, you know, here's how to clear your shot. Here's how to frame perfectly. Here's how to get the best battery life. You know, oh, and then we add in at the bottom, oh, while we're at it, you might want to consider for those long photography trips, getting an extra battery. Click here to order yours now. You can even add in a 10% discount code. This works really well because you're adding value. And if you make sure that you're adding value, you know, 2, 3, 4 emails adding value, and then 5 saying, oh, follow us on social media, or, oh, this battery you might be interested in. Don't be that person that's constantly just barraging with sales email after sales email, because people will unfollow. You need to be adding value at the same time. So they're the 3 ways in which we grow and we get new business. We acquire new customers, we increase our average order value, and we increase repeat custom. They're the 3 ways, and you need to make sure that you've got your systems and processes, software in place, yeah, that you know what strategy you've got for each of those 3 techniques. I hope you found this video useful. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, let me know what bit you've missed or what bit you're going to be focusing on next. And I'll see you in the next video.